Let's have some fun.
Is season 5 going to be worth your time? Is it going to be worth keeping your attention? Is it going to be worth 3 years of waiting for? Well, the answer is yes. But it's going to be a bare minimum yes. Find out why the Sinister one here has made his assessment that it is going to be worth it, but a very hard slog to get through. We're going to have to kick off this with the plot. So the plot of Stranger Things Volume 1, Season 5 is going to be starting off 3 years later with the oldest set of teenagers that you're going to see on screen to date. Yes, I know as hard it is as time goes by, people age, people grow up, but it's hard to realize that almost 9 years later, pushing a decade, you see that these guys are supposed to be looked at someone that's in high school, for Christ's sake. What you should have done is if you should have made this season right out the following year. Holy Christ, look at that fucking jawline. Good God. I know you could have at least time jumped us 3 years for Stranger Things Season 5, but instead you had to wait only 3 years and actually follow up like it's the following year. These guys look like they're in their 30s. And now the town of Hawkins is now sealed up with steel plates after it decided to get split open completely. Which doesn't make a lot of sense considering you had to rewind the narrative, because last season at the end of Season 4, it made us feel like the end of the world was coming practically. And because the military now can just go into the upside down like you go into an In-N-Out burger, the kids are going in there as well to help out Hopper take down Vecna.
You serious?
Max thinks she's still going to get an A in the group project because she thinks she deserves a participation trophy for milking her injuries.
You serious?
Will starts getting the touchy-feelies as soon as he gets close to a hive mind. Don't worry, we're getting there. Now, I know it's going to be hard, but some people might not remember Holly from Season 1. She's going to be one of the focal points around this season. And now her middle-aged wine mom is going to be working with the kids to take down the Demogorgon. Which is going to be another thing, yeah, you just don't need to think about it. Just go with it. Okay, I am actually going to talk about it for a hot second. Remember when you had to blow those things down instead of using a wine bottle?
I'm Karen Wheeler. This is me before fighting the Demogorgon.
You're going to tell me through the powers of Chardonnay she can do it instead with a bottle?
This is me after fighting the Demogorgon.
Look, if you saw the episode, you know what happens and how it turns out, alright? Max is alive only through her subconsciousness, who is able to find Holly and stay in a secret location that Vecna cannot enter. So what is it now? What is it that they are going to be able to do to stop Vecna? What can anyone do? Well, alright, moment you've all been waiting for, let's talk about it. But before we do, if you could hit the like, share, and subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Let me know also in the comment section below, what did you think of Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1? What was your favorite season of Stranger Things? But just when things couldn't get any worse, Demogorgon gets out, they locate the hive mind, and this big red asshole shows up. I don't know if Vecna's been hanging out with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, or he's been doing a ton of Ozempic, but this dude looks different. So anyways, what do you do when Vecna starts showing up? He's starting to take some children. You unleash your secret Willy. All because Vecna decided to get a hold of Will because he's always been wanting him since the beginning of Season 1. He pretty much calls him a giant pussy to his face, and then Will loses all control and just loses absolute shit and takes control of everything. That is how you give someone character development. What they did with Will finally giving this little asshole, instead for him crying all the goddamn time, the ability to take on the Demogorgons, control them, it was awesome, and I honestly really enjoyed that moment. Does that mean for this sheer moment alone that I think this is worth watching for Stranger Things Volume 1 of Season 5? Honestly, yes, I do. If you're a die-hard Stranger Things fan, you've been watching this show since the beginning. If you're going to be watching it this far, you're going to watch it until the end. That's going to be one of the hardest things, though. The die-hard fans that have been watching Stranger Things since the beginning, almost a decade ago, are still going to watch it through to the end. And honestly, I salute them. Am I going to be finishing this as well? Yes, I am. Season 5 so far has been a hard muddling thing for me to get through, but honestly, the depth and the character development that they were finally able to pay off through the end was worth it. But after waiting almost 3 years for us to get this final moment with Will, it was honestly worth it. But unfortunately, these are things that they didn't understand in the first place. Am I going to be excited? Yes, but I also know in the back of my mind there is still a very good chance that they could completely screw this up with Volume 2 being released in just a few weeks from now. That's going to be one of their biggest issues that Netflix never really understood. We got 4.5 seasons, well, 5 if you even want to be technical, for the better part of a decade. They waited so long to give us this. You risk the part of losing a large chunk of your fan base. But those who know are always going to be here from the beginning. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you did enjoy this video, I thank you all so much for watching. And as always, until we meet again.